Damn, man. What's up, man? Damn, man. I'm professional chef here, dog. Pissed the fuck off because I done did like 4 or 5 fucking takes of this godforsaken fucking son of a bitch and dick-headed fucking video, and not one has gone right. So I'm not. Fuck the intro. I'm reacting to 4 levels of hamburgers. Let's go.
I'm Emily, and I'm a level 1 chef.
Fuck you, bitch.
I'm a level 2 chef.
Fuck you, hoe ass nigga.
Professional chef for 23 years.
I last made this hamburger recipe probably about 2 weeks ago.
I actually just made this cheeseburger a couple days ago.
This is the burger I make for my family and friends, the people that are most important to me.
Oh boy.
When I make burgers, I just use store-bought ground beef. Here we go.
This is grass-fed ground chuck. It's about 80 lean meat and 20 fat. The fat is your golden ticket to a good burger.
For my ham,
I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That's like one of the best burgers you're gonna ever have. 80-20. Shit. As a matter of fact, I just grilled some burgers the other day with some meat that was it was from Save a Lot, so it was like 27. it was like 27, 80, 82 or some shit. I don't know. I can't remember. Fuck it. It was more than 80-20. It was more fat into me, but that shit was good as a bitch. It still turned out good. I don't give a damn. Give me any kind of beef. You can give me fucking buffalo meat, and I'll still make that shit work. Shit gonna still come out good.
burgers, I like to use beef short ribs. It's got a great amount of lean meat to fat. The only problem with it is it's tough. So what we have to do is grind it. I like to grind my own meat because when you go to the supermarket, basically they're just getting whatever beef scraps they have. This way, I get a burger that I know exactly what's in it.
Now I'm just going to put some breadcrumbs in. It holds...
I agree with that. Like, for real. Like, I once bought some a pound of ground beef from the Milwaukee Public Market, and they ground some ribeye into it. You know what I'm saying? It was like ribeye and like I think ground chuck. And that, I swear to God, dude, those were like some of the best burgers I ever eaten in my life. If I don't know how to do nothing else, I could fucking cook a burger. On the real. If I can't cook nothing else, I could cook a goddamn burger. And any method you can hand it, throw at me or whatever. Okay, now I'm looking at this bitch. And I see she putting breadcrumbs in the fucking ground beef. Don't do that shit, please. Alright, it's not meatloaf, it's a hamburger.
Put together, I think, a little better. Next step, some Worcestershire sauce, garlic powder, pepper.
What? I haven't seen you put an ounce of salt on this meat yet. Not an ounce. And then you put Worcestershire sauce. This really is a meatloaf, ain't it? Why don't you just mince that shit and make tacos?
Salt, chili flakes, because my husband likes everything spicy.
Now that my meat is ground up, I'm going to form it into pat.
Your husband's a fucking idiot. I don't put no chili flakes on no goddamn hamburger. And they put breadcrumbs in it as if you're making meatballs or some shit. I'm surprised she ain't throwing an egg in there. Maybe that's coming on. Maybe I'm speaking too soon.
You really just shouldn't handle the meat too long.
I disagree with that.
Butch.
I like to work it a little so the burger stays together, holds a shape. What I usually do is I work it until it'll kind of stick to my hand.
I'm just going to kind of like roll these up and then flatten them like hockey pucks.
I personally don't like to handle my burgers for too long, because then all the fat will start to like escape from the meat, sort of, or at least wind up on the surface of the meat. Yeah.
The old divot, little dimple in the old...
I'm working into a volcano shape. What this is going to happen is that when the meat cooks, it's going to handle it. This is actually going to disappear and even out, make a nice flat burger.
Now we're ready to cook some burgers.
I cook the burgers in a cast iron pan. Cast iron pan hold a lot of heat.
Yeah, right. You always use a cast iron pan if you're going to pan cook your burgers. I prefer to put mine on the grill, so I don't have to worry about none of that shit. So, you know, we all cook different.
Non-stick fry-ups.
Okay, don't use a non-stick pan for your burgers. They don't get hot enough.
Flat iron, what I'm doing is cooking bacon. Why? I'm having a bacon cheeseburger.
So when I cook these, I don't really need that much bacon. Just a little bit of bacon. That ground meat doesn't really have a great texture when you cook it rare.
I like it medium rare.
I season my burgers with
Salt it right before you cook it.
What happens when you season ahead? Stop moisture. You want
Yeah. Yeah, salt draws out the moisture, but at least put like a pinch of salt on that motherfucker. Shit. Do it while it's cooking or something. Shit. I don't know. My whole thing. Again, everybody cooks differently, so I don't really.
Not moist burger.
When I season liberally. It's going to help that crust form. I have a little beef fat, so I'm going to take a little bit of fat and just coat the bottom of my pan.
I'll also use the delicious rendered fat from the bacon to cook my burger. Ooh. I'm gonna take these off, place it over there.
The reason I use beef fat, not like butter, with a pan this hot, I'm gonna put my butter in the pan, and the butter's gonna hurt.
I might have burnt that butter a little. Nice.
Now I have my patty, I have my volcano, and last side down first.
So I'm gonna give it about 4 minutes on each side.
I see the look that burger get dark, crispy brown. Flip over.
I'm gonna do this hot pan, turn that brown the crust.
That's what I was gonna say. I wouldn't make a burger medium rare. I'll bring it up to at least medium. Shit, that way, you know. Yeah, I mean, because, you know, with ground beef, you don't know what the fuck you're getting. Unless you know what I'm saying, know what the fuck you're getting. Ground the meat yourself, or you know for a fact that your butcher grinds it fresh every day. And you know what kind of meat, what cuts he's putting into it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, medium rare burgers or rare burgers. People trip me out when they order that shit.
On the bottom. People tend to start moving things around. Leave the burger alone.
I'm just pressing down on it to make sure that all the meat touches the pan at least a little bit.
Don't press the burger, bitch. What's wrong with you? You're just squeezing out all the juice. That's all you're doing.
Not press the juices out of this delicious burger, please.
I want a little bit of onion flavor on my burger. I take a nice slice of onion. I'm gonna put it on top.
We're getting a lot of
The hell?
So
Raw onion or raw meat?
So I'm gonna do the old flip. Oh,
That's a nice sear.
it looks good, you guys.
My burger's brown on the side. I'm gonna give it a flip.
That nigga excited.
So you can see, I have a beautiful crust.
Here we go. Wait, there you go. Oh, it's very charred.
Yeah, it's fucking charred because you mashed down on it.
This looks disgusting. Oh no, that's worse.
Oh, it's raw. Oh my god.
Is it night?
This bitch just fucking cut the burger and checked it and then put it back in the pan. You don't have to do all that. All you gotta do is touch the fucking thing if you know what the hell you're doing, but she's an amateur cook. So there you go.
This crisp outer layer that's been formed, it's sealing the juices in this burger, and I'm waiting about 3 minutes.
So now my onion on the other side is getting caramelized. Caramelization is when the sugars start to go brown. The way that I'm going to test this burger for doneness is I'm actually going to poke at it, right? If I poke at it now, it's still really soft.
There you go. That's how you check beef. You touch the fucking thing. I don't know what the fuck is it with people who just can't gauge a burger.
And I want it to be fairly firm.
I'm gonna go ahead and put the cheese on this side because at least it's a little less charred. This is American cheese, so that'll melt nicely.
Today I'm using sliced cheddar cheese. Basically, this is when you get your
That's one thing I love is cheddar on a motherfucking burger. And you put 2 slices on that bitch. It's gonna be a cheddar-y ass motherfucking burger. I don't know what the fuck is up with all the noise on this goddamn fucking PC, but it's starting to piss me off.
camera out and start taking pictures of your burger.
For this burger, I'm going to use some Munster cheese. Now, Munster has a lot of the same melting qualities as American cheese, but it also has a little bit more flavor. That Munster melt.
American cheese sucks. I only use that if I'm like melt some cheese really fast. Cheddar has a problem. It doesn't melt well. That's the only problem I have with it. Like, it doesn't melt fast. It takes some time.
My burger is being hugged by my cheese. So, set this delicious burger. Oh my Lord, have mercy.
So now my cheese is melted. It's not melted totally.
Let that burger rest.
As I take it out of the pan.
I'm gonna take this off and just check on this real quick.
Why she keep cutting it?
It would be a little raw in the middle. That burger was burnt on the outside and raw on the inside, so we're gonna go again. I'm turning.
Oh my fucking god, this bitch is infuriating. You can't cook. You don't know how to cook. For one, you're using a non-stick pan to cook your burger. For two, you keep cutting into the burger, slicing it open just to see if it's done. And all you gotta do is poke the fucking thing. As Chef Epicurious, I don't know, that's his channel name. Go on to check him out, I guess. So blatantly stated.
Turn this on. Much less hot than before. Butter. Burger. Yeah, I think that's a cooked burger.
You're not gonna cut it this time? Did you actually learn?
Kaiser roll today. Not a little bit. I'm actually just toasting this in the grill.
So I have this white grocery store bun, a hamburger bun.
I like a potato roll. The bun doesn't need any fat. The burger has more. Toasted plain.
Now we got a nicely toasted Kaiser roll. Delicious.
Now we're gonna work on our toppings for the burger.
First off, I have some ketchup. I just like a little bit of moisture underneath the burger. Put a little mayo.
Hello.
Alright, so we have mustard on the top. I usually do 3 dill pickle slices.
As a chef, I like to make my own pickles. I have a fancy French mandolin. This gives the pickles a pickle cut. I just want to make enough to fill up our jar. Some sprigs of dill. I'm just gonna.
Why didn't you make the fucking pickles before you made the burger? Like way before, like a day before. That shit ain't gonna be pickled. Your burger gonna be probably rotten by the time your fucking meat pickles are pickled.
Into the bottom of the jar. Add a little bit of garlic and a couple of cloves, and then my spices: coriander seed, black corns, mustard seed, some little Thai bird chilies, and then proceed to stuff my cucumbers in. And now I'm gonna take the brine that I made. I get a ladle and I just fill it with a ladle. Put my lid on, it goes right in the fridge. I leave it in the fridge for about a week.
How did he get those rigid slices like that?
Bit lettuce.
That's a nice piece of lettuce there.
Tomatoes.
I like a few pieces of raw onion.
I kind of like a lot of it. Oh boy. My bacon.
I prefer grilled onions personally. I don't want a raw onion on my burger.
And then some jam.
Not a ton. I just want enough so that it adds a little sweetness to my burger.
I'm just gonna press it all together. Bam.
Boom.
Beautiful.
It looks good.
It smells fantastic.
What I like most about burger is it's not complicated. And that part, I get it. Oh my lord.
Listen, man. Why didn't they have them taste each other's burgers? And see who's or something like that. Make it interesting.
Just delicious.
We have 3 different chefs and 3 very different cheeseburgers on the bun, the beef, and the toppings. But let's talk about the ground beef first. Emily, our first chef, used grounder. Ground hamburger doesn't tell you a whole lot about the beef that you're using.
So it's just the beef that was at the grocery store.
Ground hamburger comes from any skeletal muscular tissue. You won't know specifically where that meat is coming from.
Exactly.
Lorenzo used ground chuck.
It's all the meat
Ground
together.
comes from a really particular part of the animal. It's near the shoulder area. Ground chuck is 80% lean and 20% fat. It's like juicy and flavorful hamburger.
It's like
It does.
fun.
Frank ground his own meat for short rib, and it also has quite a bit of fat in it.
So we get pushing through a little.
When you grind your own meat, you have more control over it as well. You can see exactly how much fat is in your hamburger.
Exactly.
A beautiful amount of marbling.
And you can make sure that you're controlling the protein to lipid ratio.
I get a burger that I know what's in.
Handling and shaping of your ground beef makes a difference too. Emily added a lot of spice to her ground hamburger. She also added breadcrumbs. The spices are there to add a lot of different flavors. The breadcrumbs are going to alter the texture a little bit.
I don't know what's right, but it's what I do.
I would call that more of a meatball than a hamburger.
That's what I was.
Lorenzo believes, as many people do, that you shouldn't overwork your patty.
Everyone has a body temperature, and that heat from your body melts the fat.
You can overwork your meat, but it's a little hard to do by hand when you're making a hamburger.
Oh, okay.
Lorenzo made an indentation in his patty, and Frank made a little one. He changed the shape completely.
I want there to be a divot in the center.
This is going to modulate the water loss that happens when you start to add heat to your patty. You start to have some steam inside, and it will raise or give a little bit of a pump to the patty, especially when you cook at very high temperature. Frank and Lorenzo both salted their patty prior to cooking. You don't want to salt your ground beef when mixing it.
No, you're absolutely right.
Salt can change the structure of the proteins and add some tough quality to your burger. It's important to do it just prior to putting the ham patty on the grill.
Yeah, that's man. At least like, at least put the salt on there while it's cooking or something. Shit, do something different. Shit, y'all want to put salt on there too soon. It draws out moisture.
I'll take it before they cook it.
Emily used butter to cook her hamburger patty. This gives some really nice flavors, but it also has a low smoke point. As you add butter and turn the heat, you're going to burn the butter, and you're going to get these pyrazines and other types of compounds that are going to give a burnt and bitter kind of taste.
Sorry.
Lorenzo used rendered pork fat.
Nice little.
I don't understand why people don't just like use the fat that's in the beef. Because hamburger makes its own fat. Beef makes its own fat. You don't necessarily have to add fat to it unless you cook them with like bison, which is like 90-10.
Fat rendering from here, which we will use.
And this adds a really nice, rich quality and a new flavor profile to your beef.
Yeah.
Frank used rendered beef fat, which is a lot of really nice long-chain fatty acids, like stearic acid.
It doesn't hurt to cook beef in beef fat. It makes it taste better.
When you heat the stearic acid, it's going to melt, and you baste the burger in that fat, it's going to just re-add that delicious, unique stearic acid quality that you get only from ground beef. Emily used a non-stick frying pan.
Which isn't good because they don't get hot enough. It's best to use a cast iron skillet, as I said before.
You didn't need to. There's enough fat in the hamburger patty, it will be very easy to release from the pan.
I've had a lot of things stick with pans over years. Here we are.
Lorenzo used griddle, so he had a lot of contact with the hamburger patty.
It actually looks really.
You want conduction to happen. That can only happen when the patty has maximum contact with the heat source. Frank's a shallow cast iron skillet.
Cast iron pan holds a lot of heat.
So he not only had conduction from the bottom of the cast iron skillet making contact with it, he also had the advantage of the heat maintained because there were sides to that. So the nice heat flow around his burger. When you cook ground beef, the proteins that are present are going to coagulate and they're going to squeeze the natural water in the meat out of the protein matrix. When you have 20% lipid content, you won't lose fat and it'll make for a really nice juicy cheeseburger. You generally want a nice high heat to good sear on your meat, and that's going to start some really nice roasted, caramely, earthy onion eaters, and that's from Maillard browning. Maillard browning is a non-enzymatic browning reaction that happens between protein.
I'm not gonna lie, I might have to try that the method. It's grilling the burger. I mean, grilling the onion with the burger. But my only thing about that is that you won't get that sear. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always grill my onions separately. So that I could just, you know what I'm saying, just place them on the goddamn patty once it's done. And then I can fuck the sear. It really seemed like that'll fuck up your sear. And it's important for a burger because you want to make sure that the juices are locked in.
Proteins and reducing sugars. You'll know your hamburger is done in a couple different ways. Emily cut hers open.
If one were to eat this, it would be a little raw in the middle.
You generally want to avoid doing that. You're going to have a lot of juices and the fat run out of that hamburger before you even get to enjoy it. Lorenzo took his meat. It's okay if you have a really consistent product, but if you change the different meats that you use when you're making your hamburger patty, that can be variable too.
And I'm waiting about 3 minutes.
3 minutes on each side at a really high temperature for a relatively thin patty should do the trick. We also had Frank, who knows how to look and touch a hamburger and tell whether it's done or not.
My burger's starting to firm up.
This is
There you go. That's all you gotta do. Just poke the fucking thing. It's not that fucking serious. It's not that hard to tell if a burger's done. You don't have to cut it open. I would hate to have had this bitch run a steakhouse or work at one. You know what I'm saying? Not this bitch, but the other bitch, Emily. Because she would cut open every goddamn filet mignon that she ever put her fucking hands on and ruin it. It'd be an expensive mistake.
something that is only from experience.
Okay, we're good to go with this.
Emily used American cheese. You're always going to cheese melts really well, but it doesn't have a whole lot of taste.
I like American just because it's cheap.
Lorenzo,
No, it doesn't. It's processed cheese. It's not real cheese. That's why it's American cheese. America doesn't really have a cheese, not a real one. You got to go to the fucking supermarket or the public market or some bullshit like that in order to get your motherfucking real cheese. And slice that shit on your grater. Or you can slice it with your slicing knife. I don't care.
used cheddar cheese.
To make it look the old
Cheddar cheese got more flavor, definitely. It just sucks at melting.
It's going to give you a nice flavor profile. You're going to have a nice rich quality and a little bit of tang to that type of cheese. Frank used Munster. Munster also melts really well, and it gives you some really nice flavor profiles. It's the most complex out of the three cheeses that are.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say too. I like Munster cheese, man. That shit is delicious. Munster, Gruyere is great. Fucking Brie. Brie is kind of Brie is kind of sloppy, but I mean on a burger it's quite tasty, surprisingly.
Chefs used. When you choose a cheese for your hamburger, you want to make sure that you consider water content. If you have a softer cheese, it's going to melt very easily. Cheeses that are a little bit harder are not going to melt very well because there's just not enough moisture.
Like cheddar.
When choosing your bun, you have options. Emily
Burn the
used
damn burger
standard
before you melt
white
that cheese.
bun and pick up in the
You
grocery
fucking
store.
lid.
It's pretty much one-dimensional. Lorenzo used a Kaiser roll.
Delicious Kaiser roll.
Have a little texture on.
I love Kaiser rolls. I didn't say shit about the buns. Yeah, I prefer Kaiser rolls. And I see Epicurious use potato rolls, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? A little too soft for me, but it's fine. But I love Kaiser rolls because they got like you get a bit of a crust on there, especially if you toast them right. Oh my god, dude, that texture is incomparable.
On the outside of the Kaiser roll, he also toasted his bun and used butter. Butter is a really nice flavor that complements some of the toasted chemicals and compounds that happen when you toast your bread. Frank just toasted his roll. It was a potato roll, so it had a nice rich quality to it. He did not put any kind of additional fat with his roll because there's plenty of fat in his ground short ribs. When it comes to toppings, you have a few things to consider. Texture,
I'm gonna do a little bit of raw onion.
color,
Fresh tomatoes.
and taste.
The pickles are going to add a contrast to your burger.
It's talking to me. One more money, please.
The next time you make a cheeseburger, I hope you can take some of these elements and incorporate them into your own recipe.
Wow. Well, I guess that's the end of this video. I didn't get mad too much at this one, except for that goddamn fucking amateur chef. She was pissing me off for a little bit, but yeah. Other than that, no real complaints here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I making it. If you didn't, fuck you. I don't care. Alright. Fuck you. I don't care.
I'm Emily, and I'm a level 1 chef.
I'm Lorenzo. I'm a level 2 chef.
I'm Frank, and I've been a full chef for 23 years.
I last this hamburger recipe probably about 2 weeks ago.
I actually just made this cheeseburger a couple days ago.
This is the burger I make for my family and friends, the people that are most into.
Still ain't done. Okay. Make another one. Right. It's gonna be hella prep to do tomorrow.